Everybody, Handle Star Saber here once again. We're going to try the Traya team out here. I've been making several attempts here trying to get better at it, but I just kind of will give you an idea of how this team works and how it's generally set up. So I'm going to go ahead and start the battle. Now, the team composition you'll see here is a little different than what's showed online there. I don't have a lot of gear 11 tune or 12 tunes. In fact, only Traya and Kylo Ren Unmasked fit that bill, but he's got both the Zetas, so that'll help. A First Order Special Force TIE Fighter pilot is my substitute in for Kylo Ren. He gives more speed ups to First Order Executioner and calls to assist. More hits on target for the First Order Executioner is better. Now, ideally, you have a Gear 12 First Order Executioner with all the commensurate health that comes along with it and high crit abilities. But and First Order is always calling also Gear 12 as well with as much speed as possible. But I make this work. I just don't make it work as well as some who've spent a little bit more of their resources to build up First Order to be at Gear 12 plus. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the battle, show you how it works. So the setup is pretty simple here. And basically, most of these mods are substandard. I got some pretty good ones on Kylo and decent ones on Traya just because they are Gear 12, but most of my mods are not of the 6-dot variety because they're not Gear 12 players. They're really not my best mods anyway, so I can't really bring my arena mods in. So I'm making do with what I have. First thing you want to do with First Order officers, call to assist your First Order Executioner. First ability you want to use is Death Sentence. You want to use this as much as it pops up. You want to get as many crits as you can as well. When Kylo Ren comes up, I always want to use Halt on the ads. That will keep them stunned, and that will keep him taunting, and that'll also give them one debuff to start with. So if you have to use his basic ability, you can always put up your taunt. You want to have Kylo Ren unmask taunt as much as you can. Now, when you have First Order Special Forces Trooper, Drumfire is a pretty good ability because it adds speed up to everybody, and that will get Trey in for the first time you use Isolation. When I just do that, I like to cast on Kylo Ren. Not that protection really matters that much, but I just do that anyway. Now, they will get a daze in here and there. On Kylo Ren and Mass, typically doesn't matter. This team isn't really based on turn meter gain, so it's not going to do a lot there. Now, when you get the Oppressive Burst, you always want to call First Order Executioner. It's more hits on target, more crits. My First Order Executioner has very high crit ability. The more his health goes up as this battle goes, and the higher his damage goes up, as you'll kind of see along here. So now that I got Kylo Ren unmasked again, I use Halt on the other one. Nice thing about First Order officers pinning shot when you can get it, it also does a cooldown on all First Order abilities. So that's why Kylo Ren got to use his Halt twice in a row. Very nice timing on that. Now, if you have a basic ability, always fire it on Ad, never fire it on Nihilus. In this instance, I like to hit him with the daze first before if I can get it, before I use Trey's special ability. Sometimes he'll hit Traya really low, and the only real way to replenish her health quickly is that special ability she has. That's just something to be aware of. Drumfire once again adds some speed. Fortunately, he's focusing most of his attention on Kylo Ren Unmasked. That's what you want. You want as much of his attention to be on Kylo Ren Unmasked. That way, most of your relatively squishy other tunes are not under the crossfire. And again, we had a Halt ability up, bring up Oppressive Fire to bring him in there. Gonna do one more turn, try to daze, because now see how her health's gotten pretty low. To restore that back, the easiest way to do that is her special ability. So that's what I'm going to use on her next turn. That way I don't lose her prematurely. You lose Traya, you lose the Isolate. That's a pretty quick way to end this match. So I'm going to keep working things. You can use your basic on Nihilus as long as you don't have any debuffs with Force Order Executioner. Keep wailing away. I always want to remember, keep an eye on that, the cooldown on the Annihilate. Now he's got his cooldown set, so I'm going to go ahead and throw up the guard, throw up Drum Fire to give Traya a turn sooner, get that health back a little quicker. Impressive Fire, call in First Order Executioner, advance some cooldowns, hit him again, halt, hit him again. Always look towards where his cooldown on the ads is. If he doesn't have ads remaining, you want to make sure you keep cognizant of that as well. Trigger cooldowns, speed up, get a good whack in there, do the halt to give some health back and to put that stun refresh. Impressive Fire. Oops, that was a mistake there. I brought some of his protection back, but I think we'll be okay. Getting low on some of the tunes. This is where you really got to be careful. We'll go ahead and take out that other ad because I don't have much choice in the matter. Gonna bring up his ads pretty shortly here, but we're gonna have to hit him with, for the meantime, with our basic abilities, because in this case there's really no choice in the matter. Bring him under that 10% we need. Good. Okay, he's got his ads back alive, so now I should be able to continue this cycle a little bit longer. Drum Fire. Okay, you want to keep the taunt up so you hit the ad there. That'll get the halt ability back up. Keep wailing away at Nihilus. Every chance you get with First Order Executioner. Again, be mindful of where your debuffs are. Okay, now tenacity up. Go ahead and schwack the boss. Okay. We'll go ahead and pop a little bit on an ad just so we can get her quick health up ability if we need it. Pop Nihilus. Hits are getting bigger. This is where some of the major damage can potentially come from. Things are done well. Now, unfortunately, we're at the point where I'm going to have to bring in the First Order Executioner for the guard on the next turn. It's not ideal, but sometimes you just gotta make it work for you. And now I'm gonna have to not call him because I need Nihilus to get off that Annihilate as quickly as he's able. Then go ahead and kill the ad. Gives a guard. Next one's going to go to Traya, apparently. Not ideal, but it'll work. I can work with that. Nice thing about First Order Executioner, if he does take the Annihilate, he regains that health wicked quick, and that's a bigger health pool every time he hits. That's something to keep in mind. Getting very close to the enrage here. It's just going to be a matter of trying to maximize the hits to the extent possible. Unfortunately, that daze came in. Oops, there goes an enrage. But that'll give us time for one probably good solid more hit on Nihilus. Another one following up there. last one, most likely before the death. Okay, so we got it down under the 10%. That was my goal for Jedi Knight Revan. It accomplished what I set out to do. Wasn't a great score, 1.2 million. I mean, some people are showing, I think, say bigger percentages than that. That's okay. I accomplished what I needed right now, and as the team grows, I imagine we'll get bigger scores. It's not my hugest concern right now, but at least that's enough to continue this raid. This is Anno Star Saber. I'm going to be hitting the Jedi Revan next. I'm going to be signing out though.